I call this meeting to order of the Mount San Jacinto Community College Board of Trustees. This is a regular meeting, Thursday, August 14th, 4 p.m. Actually, I think it's 4:02 p.m. now. And can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? And would Trustee Smith lead us in the pledge, please? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 1.3, roll call, establishment of quorum. Present.
Present. Trustee Corona.
Present.
All right. 1.4, approval of minutes.
Wait.
Oh, it's working now. Okay, Trustee Ashley,
Present.
Trustee Carpenter. Present. Trustee Corona,
Present.
Trustee Smith,
Present.
Trustee Silva,
Here.
Student Trustee Waluko,
Present.
Academic Senate Anjanette Oberg, Classified Senate Ronnie Armas, Student Government Association Alina Baca.
Present.
Thank you. Item 1.4, approval of minutes, June 26, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Have a motion.
I'll second. Brian Silva.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this item? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, vote, please. Aye.
Aye.
Item 1.5, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda. It's recommended the Board of Trustees approve the order of the agenda as presented or amended with the following revisions. Two revisions. Item 7.10 was revised to correct effective dates and end dates, and item 7.3 was revised to correct end date. Also, we're removing item 7.5 because it is a duplicate of item 7.14, which is most accurate. So with the exception of that, do we have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are now ready for comments of individuals, groups, delegations, limited to closed session items. Do we have anyone waiting to speak? No one's waiting to speak, so we can move on to item 3, closed session. 3.1, closed session notice pursuant to all applicable education codes, government codes, and recently enacted statutes. The Board of Trustees will meet in closed sessions to discuss and or act on the following matters. 3.2, conference with real property negotiator. Item 3.3, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation. Item 3.4, conference with legal counsel, potential litigation. And we will reconvene to report out. So we are now adjourned to closed session. See you soon.
No.
Menifee campus for a Rotary meeting this afternoon, and everybody in the cars coming here and there and students all over. So it was very exciting to see everybody back and everybody engaged at this point. I did want to advise, or at least let you know that if you don't already, our former mayor and city council person, John Denver, passed away recently, and he was a supporter of the college, and so wanted to acknowledge that and make sure that everyone knew and keep him in his prayers, keep the family in their prayers. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Carpenter. I'd like to piggyback on your comments towards former Mayor Denver, John Denver. Growing up, I had one of my many side jobs was to put up all my family's real estate signs when they were selling land. And I would paint the posts and bring a post hole digger and a friend, and we would put up these big signs. And sometimes John Denver would lose the listing, and we would pull his sign out and lay it on the ground for him to come get later, and we'd put up the Ashley sign. And then sometimes I had to go and pick up our sign that was laying on the ground because he got the listing. But I've known John Denver since the 1970s, around 79. So rest in peace, John. You're a firecracker. I'm sure you're making trouble wherever you are right now. I'm certain of that. Other than that, I have no report tonight. Thank you all for coming. Now we will move on to item 3.2, student trustee Claudia, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful and at least somewhat restful break. I'm already really excited about this upcoming year. I've seen so much engagement in the events that we've had over summer, and I'm hoping that this is a good preview of what's to come from the students. Some of the things that I intended included the open house event at Temecula and Menifee. We had a great turnout at both with a lot of student interest, and I want to give a special shout out to Trustee Corona for attending and bringing his daughter to the Menifee open house. I hope you both had a wonderful time. I also attended the SJ 3-day retreat where we were able to sit together and plan our goals and events for this year. I've said this before, but I do think that we have a strong board leading and a great momentum from last year. So please expect great things. I'm also preparing to attend the Student Trustees Workshop starting tomorrow at Ontario, hosted by CCLC. Looking forward to speaking with other students in this role and learning as much as I can about student trusteeship. And finally, I wanted to share a couple of student concerns that I've heard over summer. The first of which is a student who emailed me and our SGA President Baca regarding their concerns over us withdrawing from the federal loans program. They shared that they had already spoken to the financial aid office and gotten alternative options, but they were more so concerned that this decision was not brought to the student body prior to it being made. I'd like to share the other concern that I heard, and then I'll tie it into where I'm hoping the conversation will lead. The other concern I heard several times now is that of class scheduling. So I think the President Baca might share a little bit more about this in her report, but I do know that other students have also shared that they struggle to get the classes they need or get them in the format that they prefer. So online versus face-to-face. Some students are saying that the classes they need are only offered online or they're only offered face-to-face, whereas they might learn better in the other format. And then I've actually spoken to at least 3 different groups of students over the summer, where at least one of them have said that they couldn't get the classes at all. What I'd like to say with both of these concerns is that I've had quite some time to think about where I wanted to go with my role as student trustee. And I think one of the things that I'd like to focus on is really bringing the student's voice back into the conversations about these, whether it's about the federal loan program and how we can better educate students that may have relied on that program, as well as the efforts that we're making as far as scheduling and how we really are working to get them, the format that they want. However, obviously, there are still space for us to improve as far as scheduling. So if we could somehow get involved as students and not just SGA, hopefully also students at large, I'd really like to work on that this year. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, student trustee. Item 3.3, Superintendent, President, and Executive Cabinet.
I'll defer to my colleagues.
All right, just give you a quick update. So we started the fall term obviously on Monday, and we are sitting again at over 17,000 students attending classes here at MSJC. We've got over 1,600 classes running, which is also great. And our FTS are actually up from last year. So all the headcount is pretty much flat. Our FTS are actually increased over last year. So of course you'll get a full report October, I think is when I do that, but off to a great start.
Good evening. So many of you mentioned our open houses, and that was a tireless effort by our student services team, particularly Dr. Lisa McAllister, her health services team. But this wouldn't have happened unless we had the support of our classified professionals from all of our different departments: financial aid, enrollment services, student life and development, our veterans folks, maintenance, operations, and all of our custodians. Goodness, all the student clubs, and I could keep on naming names, but we had tremendous support, tremendous engagement. It was extremely successful. So congratulations to the team for doing such a phenomenal job in bringing folks onto our campuses and being able to celebrate and get excited about the start of the term. This week, we also had our Veterans Resource Center go through a VA compliance review. It's like a mini audit, nothing like starting the semester the first week with an audit, but it appears we've gone through with flying colors. I'm hoping to receive an update from Dr. Terry Russell, but we definitely appreciated the support of our business services team, as well as enrollment services and everywhere else that had to pull data and information and documentation for that effort. For the start of the term, we had a very quiet week. And when I say quiet, it was very busy in all of our service centers and all of our front counters, but we had adequate staffing. We had our classified professionals at our front counters. We have power and internet. So AC. So we had a phenomenal week. One that is actually not in recent memory as clean and just smooth as this semester. So I'm really excited that our teams just did such a phenomenal job. And that concludes my report.
Okay, and so also another important opening event, we had our convocation on Friday. Really fantastic event, great energy. It's always a lot of fun to celebrate new faculty and new employees that are coming in, collaboration, celebration of wins. So really great day. And I really do want to recognize kind of the two folks that led planning that event, which is a bear, Associate Dean Carrie Consalvi, as well as my executive assistant, Monet Aguilar, just did a killer job of putting that together. And then I have a fun report to share. One of the most fun things I've read in a while. Back in June 20, on June 20th, we had two of our MSJC audio students had the pleasure of backstage access with hands-on industry experience with the Wu-Tang Clan in Ontario. And this was a part of an educational experience with a project called the John Lennon Educational Tour Bus. So it provides them real hands-on experience in the music industry. I believe one of our students laid down bass tracks. One of our faculty played guitar, Bob Bozanelos. And so just really cool to hear about many of the exciting things that our students are getting to do. So I'm sure that took a lot of work to put together. I see one of the faculty here that may have had something to do with that. So just wanted to share that.
Thank you. I'll be very brief, though, with the start of the term, a lot of great energy. And as Trustee Carpenter observed, although Brandon and I got into a debate, I had a really hard time once I returned to campus at 10 a.m. finding a parking space at San Jacinto, even in the outlot. So
Menifee too.
yeah. So But again, welcome back, everybody. Again, it's going to be an amazing semester building on the momentum from last year. But in front of the trustees, we have a communication from the foundation about some of their events, the State of the College on November 14th. It's a Friday morning, the 2 scholarship receptions and a winter soiree. Of course, football and soccer are about to get underway, and our first home game will be after the scrimmage with Cerritos. That's away, but on the 27th, or excuse me, with the 30th against Golden West, and then women's soccer on the 22nd at home here. And I bring up football for a reason. It will impact our October board meeting, and I would like to request not that we change the date or the time, but actually the location, because it has been moved. It's a rarity, and Coach Springer has worked with the conference, and our homecoming game will be that evening, the evening of our board meeting on a Thursday. So if we could move it over to there, it would allow you to participate, and hopefully we can work through the mechanics. This is not an action item. It'll be something that we bring up for discussion at the September meeting. But
Already have.
and so that is really, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Schultz. And we'll now move on to item 3.4, Student Government Association. So Alina Baca, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I just want to piggyback off of Trustee Waluko. I also attended open house at TVC and SJC. Beautiful turnout on both campuses. I've also noticed a lot more foot traffic just on campus in general. I also had an issue with parking on at SJ and here at TVC. So it's really exciting to see more people on campus. I also attended the SGA retreat. Again, we focused on our goals for the year and the semester. They're really strong this year, and I'm really excited to move forward with these goals and show the students what we're doing and what we can do. We also went along with event scheduling for the students and for student engagement. I also attended the Welcome Week barbecues at MVC and SJC. Unfortunately, I was not there early enough to get any food. I heard they sold out pretty quickly, so I'm glad it was a hit though. But I also wanted to echo the concerns raised by student trustee Waluko. Being a part of SGA allows me to advocate for students whose voices may not always be heard or may not know how or when to speak up. Recently, I and many other students were dropped from a Physics 102 section without any prior notification. At the time of my enrollment, this section was the only one offered across all 3 campuses. Physics 102 is a crucial course for STEM students to meet their transfer requirements. Unfortunately, this semester, the course is not being offered at any of the MSJC campuses. The gap in course availability puts many students' academic plans, transfer timelines, and future opportunities at risk. I'm not certain which committee or department is responsible for overseeing class schedules, but I believe it would be beneficial for the SGA to have a role in those discussions to advocate for more equitable scheduling process. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll now move on to item 3.5, Academic Senate. Ms. Oberg, you may begin. Floor is yours.
Aloha, everyone. I'm Ajanette Oberg, and Michael Arce is here with me. We are your new Senate President and Vice President. Interestingly enough, Michael and I are kind of the micro and macro. I'm psychology, he's sociology, so we do bring a different perspective to the table in that we study human behavior, both from an individual and a social system level. So we hope to bring that perspective to these conversations and to the shared governance process. This year, we have adopted a new Senate Constitution. We are, in fact, implementing that Constitution with our presence here. There's been a couple main changes. First of all, increased representation. So our faculty body voted for a larger executive senate. It now includes 9 voices over the 6 from the past constitution. And that offers increased representation, added diversity and inclusion consistent with our institutional values. Additionally, we implemented new election processes, including a district-wide vote for president and vice president now. So those are no longer elected solely by the Senate, but they are elected by the faculty body at large. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our new site councils and our new Senate representation. At San Jacinto, we have Michael Arce as our site council president, Rodrigo Navarro Perez as the site council vice president. He will also be serving as our flex coordinator. He's done a great job already coordinating our flex day prior to convocation. Hector Guzman Orozco, he's our secretary. Brittany Renard is a new senator, Angelica Bakari, Lindsay Weiler, and then we have a vacant seat for another associate faculty representation at SJC. At Menifee, it's myself, along with Sterling Davenport, serving as our vice president and appointment secretary. Based on the convocation updates and announcements, we expect to have a lot of activity from Sterling in the coming hiring season. Shawnee Calhoun is serving as a secretary, and we have Dave Moss and Kyle Castro as our other MVC senators. Gillian Patton and Tracy Herzog are serving in associate senator roles. And then we have a new TVC delegate, which is a new position, and that is Ron Newman. We also have our judiciary members that are returning: Julie Friedman, Nick Reeves, Morgan Hudenpyle, and our Constitution calls for an expanded judiciary as well. So you're going to see a couple elections coming up in the fall to fill that vacant spot at SJC and expand our judiciary. Thus far, I've had the opportunity, along with Michael, to attend lunch with Roger and Jeremy on 7/24. We were excited to see Roger's enthusiasm about all the success that we've achieved, and he shared some wonderful news. So we're looking forward to another exciting year. Convocation, yes. Thank you, Jeremy. It was a wonderful convocation. Thank you for including Senate. We were able to hold some listening sessions. Joint hiring meeting also on August 8th. Some robust dialogues already taking place. We are looking to amend the joint hiring document and representation to reflect our new constitution and our new executive Senate. So that'll be an important action moving forward. And then we also had College Council. I was really excited to see Alina and Claudia advocate and be so engaged and well-informed at that meeting. Very impressive. So your students, our students, are in great hands with your leadership. So thank you for your advocacy. And then some convocation highlights from our listening sessions. Well, let me just share some highlights overall. We have received really positive reports about the budget and what that means for potential hiring. We're looking forward to potentially record-breaking hiring projections, which I'm sure you'll talk about more. We were excited to see, gosh, Jeremy, how many new faculty did you introduce? It was huge. Yeah. So very excited to welcome them aboard. Loved hearing about the Delta restructuring and the Teaching and Learning Center on the horizon. And of course, we always appreciate our union representation there welcoming us, and we look forward to important collaboration with our union moving forward. In terms of the Senate listening sessions, they echo some of the concerns that you raised, and so there might be opportunity for partnership here. There was a desire for parity across faculty groups, so including non-credit faculty, counseling faculty, instructional support faculty, and our teaching faculty, looking for more consistency in compensation, work schedules, and such. Additionally, there was a request for a Chairs Academy to come back, Jeremy, so that's something we can talk about moving forward. And specifically, Brandon, they're looking for some reports and presentations from you consistent with what we did at the all-faculty meeting, just so we can come in with a little bit more information as we approach scheduling. But there were some concerns with scheduling similar to what our student trustee shared with you, in that faculty also feel like their voice is not included in the scheduling process. There are long wait lists. We often aren't able to advocate for additional sections. There also is a desire to have increased modality options and choices across all 3 campuses. And we'd like a more transparent dialogue and faculty engagement process in the scheduling. A lot of faculty shared that they feel like the faculty voice has declined over the years, and our engagement in that process would also like to be more stimulated in future years moving forward. Additionally, there were some safety concerns, specifically some lighting needs for the evening classes at San Jacinto. So we're hoping that all of our faculty and students feel safe when attending classes. And then there were some requests for the EEO training. We've already passed those on to HR, and they seem very flexible and open to hearing the ideas and trying to present future EEO training opportunities that help to meet faculty scheduling needs. We do have a couple upcoming meetings. You're always welcome to attend. We're doing our orientation training on the 20th, so next Wednesday. We're doing a team building luncheon with our senators actually tomorrow at the Big Nose Winery. And then we're doing a constitution review meeting on the 27th. And our first site council and executive meetings will start happening in September as well. And then other Senate needs, we are trying to gather and consolidate all Senate data. So Jeremy and his team have worked with us to try to get access and consolidate into one SharePoint site, so we can be more organized as we transition from Senate leaders to Senate leaders, and there's continuity of intellectual capital and knowledge moving forward. We also have open dialogue about added release time that will be going through our union for negotiation. It is important to note that there is uncompensated work happening with faculty at large, so having union involved in those conversations, again, to foster transparency, consistency, equity, and more definitive guidelines for that will be helpful. And then we've opened dialogue about making adjustments throughout the shared governance structures to reflect our new Senate Constitution and Executive Senate capacity as well. So we're going to ask for your grace and patience with us as we're navigating and learning these new roles. I appreciated hearing all of your engagement. My deepest condolences for your loss. I know we've lost colleagues over the last several years, and it really does take a toll. May we honor the legacies of those that came before us and the work that we do, and may we continue to have a wonderful open dialogue of support and collaboration for one another. And I look forward to great success and partnership moving forward in the coming year. Mahalo.
Thank you, Ms. Hilberg. We would normally move on to 3.6, classified Senate report, but we currently have a vacant seat. So with that, we will call for the adjournment of our special meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, vote please.
Aye.
Aye. And our special meeting is adjourned.
At 5:28.
At 5:28, thank you. Now I would like to re-adjourn our regular meeting. By the way, one of the reasons all this is happening is we've just moved to a new system from Diligent, which is a really great upgrade, I think, from boarddocs.org. And so we're all kind of learning our way around it. And trustees, let me give you fair warning. Next month, I think we're voting electronically. We're going to give it a try. And so you all need to be signed in for that, and we'll be ready. Now, moving on. Item 4, comments of individual groups and delegations limited to agenda items. And I believe we have none. So with that, we can move on to item 5, our consent calendar. I will accept a motion to, unless someone has a request to pull something from the consent agenda, I will accept a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Chair Ashley, I move to approve the consent calendar.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion and a second. Student trustee, any discussion? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Thank you. Trustees, please vote. Aye.
Aye.
We're now moving all the way down to item 9.1, and let me scroll to it. Our open agenda, Superintendent President. Item 9.1, off-schedule board member conference attendance request. It is recommended that the board consider the approval for this conference attendance request. Let me just I'll just read this. On November 12th, 2024, the Board of Trustees approved the 2025 Board Member Conference and Training Schedule. Travel requests outside of the approved schedule of conferences and training must be approved by the board as an unscheduled conference no less than 30 days in advance. As such, Trustee Hollister Corona requests to attend the CLSBA Unity 2025 in San Diego, California from September 11th to 14th. With that, do we have a motion to approve?
Would I be able to approve or would I have to stay?
You can make a motion for yourself, yes. Are you doing that?
I'll move to approve if
Okay.
the board hopefully will, we'll see.
Just need a, all right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? I will make that second. Let the pause, the pregnant pause be a notice that we held our approved agendas to be quite limited in order to focus our attention on community college gatherings, but I will make that second. Is there any, so with that, is there a discussion on this item before we vote?
So for Trustee Corona, I know you'd mentioned it in your comments. So the reason that you're attending this conference, how it benefits the district, because you did mention it, and I wanted to give you that opportunity to talk about it right here in this discussion point. And then what you've learned from the previous conference you went in July, the NALEO conference.
Yeah, so I just attended the NALEO conference. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a wonderful conference. It's the birthplace of, or the home of Martin Luther King Jr. And in that conference, I got to see what was happening nationally at different districts, whether it's high school districts or college districts. Many superintendents were there. So I think it better prepared me as a board member to do a better job. And as for this conference coming up, see, my spouse, she's a counselor, and I have another brother that's a trustee, a board member at a school district as well. And I know a lot of counselors. I know a lot of, I'm an educator as well. And there's a concern, or there's a hope that that high school districts and college districts could work collaboratively together. And so what this conference does, the one that's coming up on September 12th through the 14th, it does that. They say in the future they want to make it more open and more inclusive to college board members. So I hope that with this, as I said earlier, this would help be helpful and useful, especially when it comes to collaboration between high school and community college districts and their board members. Many of our students, they're doing dual enrollment. Many of our students are taking classes here in concurrent. And so, with this conference, I think it would really unite both and make it more useful and understandable for why we should have a conference like this.
When you go, I have a question. Do they feel that middle college is not doing what you're saying already?
A lot of the board members that I speak to, that I've spoken to in the past, because I've gone to conferences where you also have high school board members and elementary board members, school district board members, they feel like we need to do more collaboration with the college board members. Like there seems to be a disconnect. Like if we could collaborate together, work together, similar to how our academic senate, Annette Oberg said, this will bring about intellectual capital.
Maybe they can learn from us. Because
could-
I was at a graduation where we had a whole team of them that graduated from the middle college, we're actually wearing different colored gowns. So we're doing a really good job of it.
Any other comments?
Am I allowed to ask a question?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or question, comment?
Okay, no, I just wanted to know, is this included in the budget that was pre-approved early no, this is an additional, okay.
This conference will be here in San Diego. It's not as for travel expenses, it shouldn't be that much, but I could see how it is. I could come back, and if it seems like it wasn't beneficial in any way, I would recommend to not go again. But if it is beneficial, I would encourage other board members to attend. And that's it.
Okay. Would anyone else like to make a comment before we vote?
I think I'm just concerned. I appreciate you wanting to get as much information and learn as much and collaborate, but I'm concerned there was another, I think, going to New Orleans. And you did recently, you went to the other conference that we approved in Atlanta. So still as stewards, we have fiduciary responsibility as it relates to budgetary issues and making sure that it is within the scope of trustees for a community college. So I think that's my concern. Not that I don't know much about this, so I can't speak to that.
I will say that one of the speakers will be Dr. Jose Fierros. He's the superintendent of Long Beach City College, Cerritos City College. And then also we have Dr. Garcia, who's speaking. She's one of the keynote speakers. She's a superintendent for Mount San Antonio Community College. But again, it's not a necessity. I don't have to go. When I go there for business, to take care of business, to learn as much as I can. I'm not out there with my family. I'm not out there having fun. I'm there strictly for business, to learn as much as I can, to prove myself as a board member and to represent this college as best as possible.
Okay. Student trustee, please vote.
Respectfully, nay.
Okay, thank you. Trustees, please vote. No.
Aye.
No.
No.
Aye.
Motion fails 3-2. We'll move on to item 9.2, extension of 2023 to 2025 board goals. I'm sorry. One thing I'm learning about our new system is it has pop-ups right where I'm trying to read, so I'll have to be ready for that. It's recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the one-year extension of the 2023 to 2025 board goals. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move to okay. I'll second that.
Okay, Trustee Carpenter first, Trustee Corona second. Any discussion? That student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
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 All right. Item 10, comments of individual groups, delegations limited to non-agenda items. We do have one speaker to speak on a non-agendized item, and would Crystal Bridges please step up to share your, I think it's a student. Yes, you're up. Go ahead. You have 3 minutes. If there, just step up to the microphone. If we need help, I'm sure Brandon can help. Sounds good. But you need to be close to a microphone because we're recording and projecting out to the rest of the community. Unless you don't want to be heard by the whole community.
Okay, so I would have wore fancier pants. Sorry about that, but I just found out about that slow meeting. Follow simple directions. You're right. So it's just the school as a whole. It is fantastic. It's wonderful. I am a veteran that's learning how to student again. The only things that I have to speak about, because complain seems like a bad word to me. But it's on like what was mentioned before about classes, right? I am not an online learner, but I'm trying to get my degree in psychology. This is supposed to be my profession, and I have to learn online. So while I'm going to summer school, the class is only afforded to me online, and then I find out that I believe my professor does 103 here. That sucked. And then also going back to the VA, the counselors, fantastic, top notch, like best thing since sliced bread. However, there's like only like 2 of them, right? How many beds do you have? Lot. And if I need to speak to somebody because I'm freaking out about a protocol, I have to wait weeks, if I'm lucky, but it's usually months. I scheduled one time in October and I didn't get to see anybody till December. Let's see here. The Wi-Fi, that's great, because before that was it seemed like a war crime. It just nothing worked in here, and that would just help me to segue into safety. I don't always feel safe here, and this is why. Everything is made out of glass, okay? But this is the only room that I see that I would feel comfortable in, because if anything were to happen, right? Because people do show up on their worst day and then make everybody else's day bad with pew-pews, you know? And first of all, what are we supposed to do? It's all glass. Like, they're gonna be able to, like, I identify as invisible. That doesn't work. The desk, they're gonna see some feet. They're gonna see movement. There is nothing covering anybody. A lot of these places, one way in, one way out. The fourth floor specifically, in the far corner. That's where I have my Spanish class. I was only able to concentrate most of the time because I have 4 floors behind me down, but I only have one way in and out. And if anybody comes through, yes. Oh, my time's up.
You can finish your thought.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
But short.
Final thought is that there isn't any like is there a drill at all? Like, dead serious. If something happens, a lot of these students that I've walked past the last several years I've been here have the survival instincts of garlic bread. The rest of them are gonna fight like they're the third gorilla trying to get on Noah's Ark and it started raining. It's gonna be pure chaos. And while I love this school, Menifee has more protection than us. Right?
Thank you, Ms. Bridges. We appreciate your input, and yeah, we do take safety very seriously. So I will ask staff to talk to me about our safety drills, protocols, the best way to get in and out, that students know how to retreat, fight back if that's necessary. But I do understand where you're coming from. There's been times where I've felt a little nervous in where I sit right now when the curtains are open. So but thank you very much for your comments. Yeah. And we are now going to move on to item 11, information agenda. 11.1, media outlet initiative presentation. Alan Marsala, associate professor of digital media and chair of the creative media department, will present MSJC's digital media studio initiative. Welcome and take your time.
It's not standard. It's gonna be mind-blowing compared to crap I put on the screen.
It's literally, oh, that works. It's literally that image is my presentation. I know.
Relax, Brandon.
It's thank you all for the opportunity to bring an exciting initiative to the forefront of what we've been working on. This to me is the realization of my going on 9 years of teaching here. And with the support of the President's Office, with Public Information and Marketing, with Business Services, with the Foundation, with the county through their generous ARPA funding. These two initiatives here represent taking what we currently do with our students and bringing it into our community, which I think is absolutely essential as a community college. So I want to introduce you to Studio 215 and IE Now, these two initiatives that are taking what our studio is capable of at the Menifee campus, which if you haven't been, and I think a lot of you have been through our digital media studio in 3000, basically catty corner of the boardroom there. It's a full functioning studio that gives our students experiential learning opportunities to make them more employable in the industry. But it's capable of doing that for the community too. And so it's my pleasure to be able to announce that we are expanding the studio through the county's ARPA funding to be able to do full service marketing content creation for local businesses in our service region. And we're doing that under the moniker and brand of Studio 215. The name comes from the freeway, and the freeway is kind of the central vein through the Inland Empire. And similar to that central vein, our studio is going to be a central hub for content creation for local businesses. The ARPA funds have allowed us to hire 2 full-time studio staff, both previous students of mine. That was the best call of my life, to be able to call them and say, do you want to help start this? And we are able now to work with local businesses to produce content for them, which is an exciting offering, pouring out of what we're capable of doing. Now, IE Now, this comes from the fact that we live in a media desert, a news desert. There's really nothing between San Diego and LA that's covering the amazing things that are happening in our region. And that's a need that we can fix. We have a studio and we have students that are hungry to tell these amazing stories. And so IE Now represents the tagline right there. Our region, your stories right now. And we're actually developing a Amazon Fire TV app, a Roku app, an iOS app, and an Android app, as well as a live streaming service as an extension of our existing PEG channel that will be able to provide news, docuseries, documentaries, business highlights, city highlights that really showcase what the Inland Empire is doing. And to be able to do that from our studio, using our students to tell those stories. I told Roger almost 10 years ago when it was my final interview, I said, Roger, I grew up here. There is no reason we can't be the premier place to teach digital media students how to survive in the industry. And these to me represent the manifestation of that vision. So I'm excited, our students are excited, and I think the region is going to be really excited when we take this to them. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Question or comment. Do you remember Hugh Hauser?
The last name sounds familiar.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he was the one that had videos about the whole area. He would go to Palm Springs, he'd go to LA, he'd go to the Inland Empire. It'd be nice to keep him in mind, Hugh Hauser, to do something like that in this area.
Great. Thank you.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
I just have a quick question. Don't you feel like you're being slightly discriminatory towards the 15 freeway?
The studio's based off the 215. But
Okay.
yes, I mean, we will go to the other side.
You'll be sure to play both freeways equally. Yeah, maybe.
We're not that far from here.
Okay, I accept that.
Okay, perfect.
I love the idea. It's exciting to see where you're going to take this.
Now I'm just waiting for Trustee Silva to start saying, what about the 60 and the 10?
No, I am not that particularly possessive of those traveling
Freeway.
locations.
Highway 74.
Right. Now we're talking. No, so I love this concept. I think that a lot of people have tried it in the Inland Empire with varying degrees of success. I mean, maybe KVCR would be like kind of the closest, I guess. But for the most part, I mean, this kind of aggressive move to cover the Inland Empire is an interesting one, and it's a project-rich environment. There's a lot of opportunities for growth, so I'm very excited about this.
Wonderful.
Mr. Marsala, where did you go to high school?
Paloma Valley High School.
Whoop, whoop.
And I was the first graduating class from Bell Mountain when it opened.
Yeah, don't care. But
What's-
Paloma, now we're talking. I happen to have like kind of work at Paloma during the day, so it's good to see you again.
It's awesome.
Also, I do agree that like we are in an information desert. I think the press enterprise is still out there, but as you know, people are completely polarized when it comes to national news. But weirdly, those same people, whether you're on the left, right, or in the middle, trust local news. And we need trusted news sources that report like issues that are concerning to us. Sometimes those concerns are national and world concerns. Sometimes they're very local. So I'm very supportive, jokes aside, that you're launching such an initiative. I'm excited to see where you go with it because I know how good you are at what you do. So you have my support.
And I love that you're bringing MSJC to businesses and to the cities, that we serve. It's reminding them that we're here and partnering and collaborating with them.
And please let us know when the time comes, like how to follow you on all the different apps and social media so we can help promote you.
Love that. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 11.2, accreditation update. MSJC's accreditation has been reaffirmed through 2032 by ACCJC, and we have a report.
Yes.
Like
So good
Vice
evening.
President Teague,
Yes.
Dean Sterling.
So we're excited to share. Obviously, you already have the news that was sent out in email form, and it's been updated on our website that MSJC was reaffirmed for its full accreditation through 2032. That is representing a 7-year accreditation cycle. The new standards are an 8-year cycle, so we missed just a year, but we'll take 2032 just fine. But what an incredible report we received. I thought the 2018 accreditation cycle was our greatest success, and I will absolutely claim this one is better based off of the results that we received and the outcome. So in our action letter that we received from ACCJC, we confirmed that we did receive the 2 commendations as well as 0 compliance requirements and only 1 recommendation for improving institutional effectiveness. 2018, we had far more of the recommendations for institutional improvement. And that just goes to show the type of quality educational institution that we have here and the work that we do on a day-to-day basis to ensure our students' success and that we're meeting all of the outcomes necessary to support accreditation, financial aid, and all of those different metrics. So Anna's going to be going through the commendations with you, as well as the recommendation for institutional effectiveness in a bit more detail.
So as Rebecca mentioned, we had 2 commendations. So the first commendation is related to our call to action and the work surrounding that initiative. And so you'll see here, again, this is information that you've seen multiple times and you're very familiar with our call to action. And the standards, we just wanted to remind you, these are the specific standards that ACCJC is saying that this specific commendation relates to. So our standard 1B1, standard 1B6. And then the second commendation is for our Veterans Resource Center and the services that we provide to our veterans. And again, ACCJC wanted to really commend us on the ability to review, assess the services that are needed, and then provide those services in an exceptional way. And that was very much thankful to the comments that were made in various different interviews throughout the site visit. And as Rebecca mentioned, no recommendations for compliance. So this would be the areas that if we did have any recommendations, these would be the things that we would have to be meeting, saying that we did not meet a specific standard, but we had none of those. And then we had our one recommendation for improving institutional effectiveness, and this is just reaffirming work that we are already doing. So we had just recently adopted a syllabus management tool, and we were in the process of implementing that tool when the peer review team was here visiting with us. So their recommendation is to continue with that implementation to ensure that we are that students have access to the approved course learning outcomes that match the curriculum in the syllabus that they're receiving. And so that was, again, the work that we had already initiated, but we hadn't fully implemented. So they're just saying, ensuring that we continue to complete that implementation. So that wraps up this accreditation season, but of course, as you know, accreditation's never really over, right? But for this season of accreditation, it is completed, the letter and the peer review report. So you want to read the entire report. Those are both available on the website per the ACCJC requirements.
Okay, so as of today, I've been the ALO here at the institution for the past 18 years. And so I am beyond excited that this will be my last presentation ever in the history of the world that I will be presenting anything related to accreditation, because my dear colleague was successful in the recruitment for our Dean of Institutional Effectiveness, and she will now be our new acting ALO for MSJC. I wish her well. She's crazy, but this is a really great, and she knocked it out of the park the last, obviously this last go around. So I'm so excited to be able to hand over all of the good things for accreditation to her, and I wish all of us well on the new standards. So we are adjusting to those new standards for the 2024 information that they had. I do anticipate that due to the U.S. Department of Education changes, some regulation changes, that we will see those standards adjust by the time we go through our new accreditation cycle. But midway through, we obviously still will have our midterm report, of which we will speak to the recommendations for institutional effectiveness, as well as some of our other data points specific to the new standards. And then we don't get to start up this fun again until 2031. So with that, it concludes our report. If you have any questions for us.
You had a question. If I recall, a couple of board meetings ago, we said that in the past we had an A+ accreditation, and now it's like an A. But I would say, I mean, is this an A+?
This is like the AP, like Advanced Placement Standard. So we get the 5.0 A+.
Right, it's like an A in dual enrollment.
Yes.
All right, and then another question was the simple syllabus. That recommendation, has that been implemented already, or will it be implemented soon?
So it is actively implemented, but it is not fully implemented. So there is still a transition period where faculty have an option to use simple syllabus or to use our previous syllabus submission process. And so we're working through that this fall, and the goal is to have it fully implemented for the next academic year.
Nice, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't need to know all about simple syllabus, but I'm interested. So maybe we can hear more about that sometime, but I'd like to know more about the simple syllabus tool.
Maybe this is something that we could push, or the high schools could maybe look at, where they could implement it. My syllabus is not, I'll tell you, it's not a simple syllabus.
Well, I just think syllabi are, by the ones I've seen, they vary too much. One's a page long and one's the entire course, every single assignment, every single learning outcome. It goes forever. I can't imagine any student actually reads the whole thing. But then some are so short, they just
read all of it.
Yeah, that's what they say. And so anyway, yeah, I'm interested in that because I know that is our one recommendation. So that's why we should know more about it. And of course, we all know we can be better. Doesn't mean we don't have improvement, everybody. We have a lot to improve, but in terms of our accreditation, we hit a home run. And thank you so much for your work. Now that sad moment's come. Item 12, adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Bring down, I love it.